service catalog. We do a best effort here. We do as good as we can, and this is where you can then start to show them, okay, maybe you want to move from best effort to actually ensuring that you can deliver certain, services. Also that asking, okay, if you do a cost to serve analysis, do you know, where you start losing money based on the services and the things that are combined or added to the product that you're giving with the product. And once you have that kind of transparency, it becomes clear that, okay, we don't have a clue in many of these areas. Somehow it works, but the question is always, okay, how good could it work? Yeah? And this is where you can start also to quantify it. So if we are able to increase our service levels, or if we are able to take off, costs that are, eroding our EBIT, if we can start tailoring services to the customers that are willing to pay for it. And this does not necessarily have to be the biggest customer. Then how much more profit could we make? By doing a network optimization, make this, on the production side, that we do forecast planning, we do make-to-stock analysis, make-to-order analysis on which products we should produce, based on order, which should we produce on forecast, how much less inventory could we have, across, the network? Where should we place those inventories to service the customers we want in the best way? These are the type of questions that once you start asking them, this is where they discover themselves. So if you only come and tell them, okay, this is what you have to do, they will say, hey, it works for me. But once you start asking these questions, they don't have too many answers to those. And this is where you can then start guiding them. Okay, so if you want to have an on-time in full, 97% for, even if it's across BU, or if you want to have a supply chain cost target, relationship to sales on a certain percentage, or inventory on a certain percentage of, sales, how do you actually ensure that? What do you actually do to manage it? Do you just, drive it down, or do you do a structured approach? And this is where you start and setting up basically the map. They discover themselves, okay, we are not there, but they also then start realizing, that there's a lot of potential in there, both on the profit side and also on the cost side. So the two main levers that you can pull.
Understood.
So that's what, the kind of, that's, this is my business now today. I'm having an own consultancy company, and this kind of end-to-end value chain optimization, this is what, one of my main, business offers. And it's also not only about, processes, it's also about capability building, also looking at, technology optimization, digitalization, what can we actually do now with technology that we maybe could have done also 10 years ago, but the cost for it was, just much higher.
Yeah, digitalization is obviously a whole different ballgame, even again. I mean, you could talk for 3 hours about digitalization in this respect as well. So
that's true.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we've covered our questions so far, but this was helpful, and we'll have to see. I think, what I've basically have in my head is that this end-to-end overview would be the best option, but that it's not really a feasible option, and you have to find the optimal workaround, so to say. And I found this model, this maturity model, is interesting. I think that we'll take a closer look into this and also see, if it makes sense to develop options into how you can, become a more mature company.
Yeah. I would not phrase it that it's not feasible to set up an end-to-end value chain or supply chain. It is feasible, but it's a journey. It is not something that you do, from A to B and from one day to another and say, okay, tomorrow we are